What's up, YouTube? Tommy G here. I'm just on my lunch break, and I just want to do another follow-up video on my my boot camp video. So I'm getting a lot of questions, and I kind of someone just sent me a message early on today, and he gave me about like 7 or 8 questions here, and they're questions that come up a lot. So I kind of want to make another video to kind of single out these certain questions that a lot of people have. And again, just to help you guys out before you're on your way to boot camp. My dog is barking visibly. Sorry about that. All right, so first question that seems to come up a lot, and this is the person who sent me the message is Knockoff Reviews. That's his YouTube account. So I appreciate you sending me a message, and I hope this video helps you out. How did you handle getting singled out by the RDCs, if you ever did? As far as getting singled out by the RDCs, they really don't single you out, because they're really not allowed to. But, I mean, they do tend to come down more on certain people, and it's just if you're slacking off, if you're just not getting it, if you keep, failing inspections, or pretty much you have to try to be singled out by the RDCs, I feel like. Again, that could just be the experience of my RDCs. I mean, there's probably 200-300 RDCs in Great Lakes, so I'm sure each of them have a different way of doing their job. But as far as my RDCs, like you really had to try to get singled out. But what our division did is, if someone was getting singled out, and it's just something that they couldn't help, and RDCs made them do push-ups, our whole division would get down and do push-ups, and that's what your RDCs want to see. They want to see that you guys are becoming a team, and just you guys are working together. And if one of you mess up, you all mess up, and that's their ultimate goal, is to make you work as a team, because that's pretty much the Navy's ultimate goal and how the Navy operates. So I hope that answered your question as far as that. Second question: was yelling the RDCs did as bad as you thought it was? As bad as you thought it was going to be. Sorry about that. And they yelled a lot less than I thought they were going to be. I mean, like, the stuff you see on TV, kind of, it's like a smoke screen. It's kind of, they show what they want, they show what they don't want on TV. But your RDCs really don't yell really at all. It's just more of getting in your face if that does happen to you. So no, I didn't think it was that bad. And like I said, if they're doing it to you, you most likely deserve it. They're not just going to come up to you and yell at you for no reason. They're going to come up and yell at you if something's messed up on your rack, or if something's not folded right, or if you're talking in ranks while you're marching, things like that. So the time you're really going to get yelled at is if you deserve it. So don't mess up, follow directions, and you really shouldn't be pinpointed out and yelled at by your RDCs. Third question: if you were unsure about something the RDC said or instructions they gave you, do you ask them directly, or do you ask another recruit? And then in parentheses put, how would you ask the RDCs? Let me see. I think kind of like a 2-part question. It's all situational. If you're in a trainer and they're telling you how to tie the boat up to the dock or to the pier, things like that. Like, obviously you can't ask one of your recruits because they don't know either. So things like that you kind of have to ask your RDCs. It's just situational. Like if you need help folding a piece of your uniform, like something like that, I would go ask. You have section leaders in boot camp in your division. I mean, within your division, you have 4 section leaders that are in charge of each row of racks. That will make more sense once you get there. But you can go to them because he's kind of in charge of everyone's rack in his certain section. So I would go to your section leader and ask him, or even your bunkmate might be able to help you out. You and your bunkmate, during inspections, you guys help each other make each other's racks and things like that. So your bunkmate is like your whole division is like your team, but your bunkmate's like your right hand man. You guys are gonna make a bigger friendship compared to anyone else in your division. I feel like at least that's how it was to me. So definitely first ask your bunkmate, and then if you don't have one, or if your bunkmate doesn't know, then go to your section leader, and he should know. If not, then he should be a section leader. But if you did, I guess to answer the second part of that question is how did your RDCs react if you did ask them? Is as long as it's a legitimate question, like they might give you shit because that's kind of their job. They want you to be an independent person. They don't want you to have to rely on someone. But the Navy also stresses if you don't know what the hell you're doing, ask a question so you don't fuck something up. So again, it's very situational, and you, when you're in that situation, you should be able to make the right call on who you should ask and if it's smart to ask your RDCs or not. All right, let's see. We're on the fourth question now. Is there any free time to write the family, going to the next, studying for tests, things of that order? I guess I'll just go right down the list. As far as writing your family, after TAPS, which is 10 o'clock, actually, is there any free time? I'm going to start there. Your RDCs leave you guys alone after TAPS. So it's after 10 p.m. is when they leave. And then during Hell Week, TAPS is at 8 p.m. So once they put you to bed, your RDCs leave. So that's your opportunity to either write to your family, study a little extra, or get to sleep, which you really should do. There's going to be people in your compartment that like to stay up and fuck around and wrestle and things like that. I wouldn't really associate with them because you're going to need your sleep. They do give you 8 hours of sleep, but they also give you chores to do after TAPS, like ironing your uniform, stuff like that. Like you can only do that after TAPS. So you kind of have to manage your time well. Writing the family, you can do that after TAPS, obviously. Don't do it during the day. Like, don't try to sneak it while you're in class or something like that, because they will that happened to a guy in my division. They'll take your letter and they'll read it out to the entire division, and it was like a letter to his girlfriend, so it was pretty embarrassing. And he actually wrote stuff like making fun of our RDCs, so that didn't work out well for him. So definitely don't do it during the day, doing like working hours. You can either do it after TAPS, if you feel like you have the time to do it, if you're not tired yet or something like that. And then on Sunday mornings from Reveille to I think 1 p.m. it's called Holiday Stand Down, and that's just they give you like a little break time where you can write letters, things like that. They give you extra time to take showers. It's kind of like a relaxing period. You can't lay down on your rack, anything like that, but that's the time that and that's the only time that you can mail out your letters is Sunday mornings. But you get mail every night right before TAPS. Going to the next, you have like 3 scheduled times in your schedule at boot camp to go to the next. It's like it kind of equals out to once every other week. That's just to get like more shaving cream, things like that. You can't buy like candy, soda. They give you a list of things that you can buy. It's pretty much toothpaste, shaving cream, razors, new toothbrush, a comb. Things that aren't things that you're gonna need while you're there. You really can't buy like a magazine and things like that. So after battle stations, you might go there and then you might be able to buy a soda or a piece of candy, something like that. That's what our division was allowed to do, but that's not until the very end of boot camp. And what was the last thing? Studying for tests. When you first get there, like or was it the first week? Maybe the second week. Second week you're there, you get your training guide, which I showed in my last boot camp video. That's that white book. That's all the information that your tests come out of. There's 3 tests while you're there. The first third of the book, so the first test, second third of the book, second test, so on and so forth. So they give you what chapters you have to study for each test, and you carry that book everywhere you go. So you're studying while you're waiting in line for chow, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're studying when you're laying in your rack. At night you can study. Pretty much you're studying unless you're doing something that's on the schedule. So you study all day, all night. When you're done eating at chow, if you're done eating early before it's time for you to leave, you have to pull out that book. That book is always in your left hand. So you can study anytime you're fucking taking a shit. You can study. You have time to study. They make sure you have time to study. So don't be worried about that at all. Yeah, that's about it. All right, next question. After graduation, do you get time to spend with your family? You do. It's about so your graduation's at like 9, I think it starts. It's over by 11, and then you have till 9 o'clock that night to hang out with your family. and you have to be back. You have to be back in your compartment by 9 p.m. So essentially, you only have to like 8 p.m. to hang out with them. So it's a solid 8-9 hours that you get, which is better than nothing. But there is a watch bill still during. You have 2-hour watches 24/7 while you're in boot camp, and there's still a watch bill going for your compartment while after graduation because you guys still own that compartment. So what we did was all like the people that fucked off during boot camp and got in trouble a lot. We made them stand watch during that time, or sometimes people who don't have family coming, they'll volunteer to do it. So again, that's something that's very situational. You may have watch because I think it's only like six slots that need to be filled out of 88 people. So you guys should be able to find 6 people that don't have family coming, or people who got in trouble that like your RDCs might tell to put on the watch bill. But I'd say 95% of the time you won't have to worry about watching, and you can go spend that 8-9 hours with your family. How much sleep did you get per night? Like I said, they give you 8 hours to yourself to sleep, but sometimes you might have to iron your clothes. You might have to make sure your rack's in order. We always polish our boots every night. So they give you 8 hours, but you might only get 6 because 2 hours might folding some clothes, ironing your clothes, boot polishing, things like that. There's a lot of tricks that you will learn in boot camp on how to save your time, on like folding, ironing. Sometimes you don't have to wear certain pieces of clothing that you can sneak away with, things like that. And that will make sense when you get to boot camp because it's kind of like a rite of passage. I feel like I'm not gonna tell you guys because I didn't know. No one knows when you go there, but it's kind of you figure it out as time goes on, and you will figure out those things I'm talking about. I promise you that. And here's that's the last question, actually, I think. Please get back to me, Pop. Yeah, alright. So, those are some frequently asked questions I got. Actually, there was one more I want to touch on that I've seen in the beginning a lot. As far as the PT, you PT 1 hour a day, 6 days a week, in the Freedom Hall gym. That's like, you PT as a division. But, you will get IT'd pretty much every day, because someone's going to fuck up and get your division in trouble. And you will be IT'd. And normally they wait right before you go to bed, so you go to bed nice and sweaty most of the time. So, but hey, you're in the military, it's what you signed to do. Don't expect to be babied, and please don't be one of those people that cry about, oh, I'm going to bed sweaty, blah, blah, blah. You're in the fucking military, deal with it. There's a lot of people in the military that cry and whine and bitch, and it's pretty aggravating. So please don't be one of those people, and then be a man and just take your ass whooping and move on with your day, because you are doing something great. You're serving your country, and at the end of the day, you did volunteer to do it. So it is what it is. So that wasn't directed towards you. I'm just saying that in a general statement. Just make sure you or your friends or anyone watching this video that's going to boot camp or in the Navy, just please don't be that person. So I appreciate the message, man, and I appreciate everyone commenting and liking my videos. I hope I'm helping a lot of you, and I wish you guys the best of luck in boot camp and in your Navy career. Thanks for watching. DJ Tommy G. Like, comment, subscribe. Later, guys.